CQ the X, CQ the X, CQ the X. This is Havana calling. CQ the X, CQ the X, CQ the X. This is Radio Havana calling all shortwave listeners and radio amateurs. Welcome to... DXers Unlimited, Radio Havana's weekly feature dedicated to the fascinating world of radio communications.
Hi, amigos radio aficionados.
Yes, my friends, living north of the equator as I live here. We are all now enjoying the typical spring equinoctial propagation conditions on the shortwave bands, just starting, especially very nice openings that are happening around local sunset and again repeating near sunrise. The sporadic E-layer events are few and of short duration at this time of the year, but that will change by the end of April. The summer E-skip season is still a couple of months away. Now let me say you that the 6 meters band spanning from 50 to 54 megahertz is very much underused and activity on it's very low, something that puts that frequency band assignment, amateur band assignment, in jeopardy, as there are many potential users for that marvelous part of the lower VHF spectrum. There's a menace on 6 meters. But as always, even now, around the spring equinox, openings via sporadic E-layer events have happened here in Havana, up to the FM broadcast band, when some very strong E-layer clouds make that possible. That sporadic E, wonderful mode of propagation. Aurora borealis reflections, backscatter signals from the auroral curtain, sudden changes in signal levels along propagation paths that go through the North Pole, and the appearance of very high maximum usable frequencies on the F2 layer will from now on become less and less frequent as solar cycle number 24 continues its downward slope towards minimum, to be reached by the end of 2019 or early 2020, depending on the different forecasts and predictions that you listen to. Again, this past week here in Havana, the capital city of Cuba, I was able to monitor several very interesting E-skip openings, totally atypical of the month of March. They are not to happen at this month, but they were happening. On Saturday, when I was writing the script of this show, there were no signs of band openings on 6 meters at all. And yes, amigos, let me remind you that all the way back during the year 2011, when the daily solar flux some days picked up to almost 180 units, the 6 meter band did open up for F2 layer propagation for the first time during this solar cycle. But those openings simply do not happen when the daily solar flux is below 120 units. Item 2, for those of you that enjoy minimum parts count electronic circuits, more information following the great interest shown by many listeners around the world that wrote to me via email requesting information about the ultra-simple minimum parts count transistorized regenerative receiver circuit. Today I will talk about the diagram of yet another simple radio that requires not 1 but 3 transistors, but that is also easy to assemble and very easy to adjust to the right frequencies band. No danger for children also, because it operates with very low voltages fed to the collectors of the transistors. 3 or 4 pen light cells will power up this radio for quite many hours of listening, actually for months of listening. The number of electronic components of the other radio is not at the bare minimum, but there are not so many after all. And believe me that it does work and picks up ham radio stations on the 40 meters band with excellent quality. You will need 3 NPN high-gain transistors and good quality headphones for this radio. This new little receiver provides what can best be described as also truly amazing performance, considering the very few added parts that it uses from a standard circuit. Experimenters can easily add an external computer loudspeaker set and connect the radio so that you can listen without using headphones. Experimenting with simple receivers that operate from batteries is one of the more than 93 different ways that you and I will be able to enjoy this wonderful hobby every time we dedicate part of our spare time to enjoy it. Item 3, also related to what's known as minimalist low parts count radios. I'm working again on a new version of a receiver that uses parts recycled from compact fluorescent light bulb circuit boards. The first version of that project provided good reception on the AM broadcast band, making it an ideal emergency radio because it runs with just 4 pen light cells that will last for several months. If you want to see the circuit diagram just mentioned, send me an email to info@rhc@enet.cu, again slowly and phonetically for you, info, RHC, the symbol for ENET, that's Echo November Echo Tango, ENET, the symbol for period, then Charlie Uniform, CU. Stay tuned on the same frequency or connected to our World Wide Web streaming audio. I'll be back in a few seconds after a short break for station ID. Amigos, this is Radio Havana Cuba. The name of the program is DXers Unlimited, and it's on the air twice weekly. Here's now, at the request of several listeners, information of our schedule. DXers Unlimited's weekend edition, the one that you are listening to right now, is on the air just after the top of the hour Radio Havana Cuba newscast. The program is on the air several times all along the Sunday and Monday UTC days. Our midweek edition is on the air just after the half-hour news with the reruns program for Tuesday and Wednesday UTC days. And I must add that the scripts of the two shows are totally different, of course, and also that both of them include our exclusive and not copyrighted shortwave propagation update and forecast. Now our next Radio Hub-related item here at DXers Unlimited's Weekend Edition. Here's now, you have questions, and Arnie tries to answer to you as soon as possible. And yes, I do. Today, a question came from Canada, where we have many Radio Cuba listeners. Listener Edgar from Toronto says he's a frequent wintertime visitor to Varadero Beach, the beautiful resort of Matanzas province in Cuba. And he also visits Cayo Santa Maria Key Beach Resort too. Now he plans for an extra summer visit and tells me that he wants to bring his multiband digital radio receiver and is asking if this type of equipment is allowed to enter into the country by the Cuban customs. Well, amigo, here is the answer. Consumer-type receivers brought by tourists are okay with the Cuban customs regulations, but sophisticated communications-type receivers do require a special permission from the Ministry of Communications, and that special permission request also holds for any type of transmitting equipment. And now the second question that coincidentally also came from Canada, from Vancouver, where amigo Allen is listening very late in the evening to our 6,100 kilohertz frequency. He wants to know how much power and what type of antenna we are using on that 49 meters band channel, 6,100 kilohertz. Well, amigo Alex, yes, your name is Allen. I write it wrong here. Well, amigo Allen, we are running 100 kilowatts and using a 4x4 type of curtain array, an array of dipoles with an estimated gain of around 16 decibels over half-wave dipole. And that sure helps to deliver such an excellent signal into the Pacific Northwest area of North America. And mis amigos, now just before going QRT, here is our exclusive and not copyrighted high-frequency plus low-band VHF propagation update and forecast. The solar flux will hover very near 75 to 80 units, and solar activity will remain at very low levels. There are no chances for solar flares during the next 2 to 3 days. Sunspot number is moving down from a previous rotation peak. Expect some daytime openings on the 15 meters, the 21 megahertz amateur band in some days, something was typical of the spring equinox, and maybe 20 meters will also open up during the late afternoon hours. Daytime conditions will not be as good as what we will see during the local sunset. I hope to see you all at the middle of the week edition of DXers Unlimited, and I'll be on the air next Tuesday and Wednesday UTC days with that show. Send your signal reports and comments to info.rhc@enet.cu or via airmail to Anicoro, Radio Havana Cuba, Havana, Cuba.
For today, this is Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, your host here at Radio Havana's DXers Unlimited, saying 73 and very good DX.
DXers Unlimited with Arnie Cordell right here on Radio Havana Cuba, heard every Sunday on RHC.